This video is weed control around hedges. So in this video we can see a beech hedge which is absolutely being choked with weeds. Now to go weeding this by hand would be very cumbersome, and despite your best efforts the weeds will most likely be back in 2 to 3 weeks in the growing season. So here we're going to discuss the technique of brushing on a weed killer with a brush. So as you can see there, we just flattened the grass a little bit with our hands, and then after that we just wiped on, Roundup in this case, mixed up in a bucket, wiped it on with a paintbrush, and the grass will die. So this may be quite slow and cumbersome, but the advantages of doing this as opposed to hand weeding is you'll get a kill for at least maybe 2 months, which will get you nicely through the growing season. Will be quite easy to control after that. The hedge will establish much more quickly without being choked by those big strong weeds, and using the paintbrush technique it's much more accurate than spraying. You have to remember, if you touch the plant it will kill the plant. Now when getting hedges established, I always recommend that the area that you're planting the hedges into is 100% weed free. So before you plant hedges, I always recommend you spray off about 2 weeks before planting the hedge, so that the ground is as clean as the ground is in the picture. Then at that point there, as weeds start to establish throughout the season, I recommend that once every fortnight you do a quick weed patrol with a small sprayer like that. You set the pressure extremely low, so it puts out a small flow of the herbicide and water mixed together rather than a mist. A mist is very dangerous, as the mist will drift into the hedge, I guarantee you, and if you work the sprayer at high pressure, I guarantee you will probably damage if not kill your hedge. So I recommend you work at an extremely low pressure. You keep the nozzle about 1 centimetre from the ground and you just put it down over the weed. The weed should be no bigger than a 20 centimetre piece if you're patrolling it fortnightly. Just put it down over the weed, press the trigger gently, let a little flow of herbicide down onto it. You'll do absolutely no damage to the plant and you'll kill the weed and you'll keep the ground clean. This sort of patrol, when I say every 2 weeks, sometimes it frightens people. I recommend you do it when you're mowing the lawn, and it only takes 5-10 minutes to go around quite a long hedge, because the weeds aren't getting established that much, and you're only going to have to do it for about the first growing season and maybe a little bit into the second season. But the hedge will have established itself so well in that time that weeds will not be hindering it any longer. Controlling weeds around the hedge is the best way that you can get a return on your investment. This hedge was planted about 6 months ago, and I just after recently cutting it back because I needed the material for cuttings. So it's about 2 foot tall now, but before I cut it back it was 3 to 4 foot. Had this hedge been planted and been choked by weeds like the first clip I showed you of the beech hedge, I guarantee you to be about maybe 1 foot tall. They'd be looking green and miserable. But once you keep the weeds clean from around the hedges, they're established really quickly. And as I say, after spending a lot of money on hedging, you have to look after to get the return. Just one final last word of warning. Spraying herbicide around plants may also kill the hedge. So you cannot touch the plant with the chemical. I also recommend you do not attempt this on a very hot day, as the chemical will start to evaporate and it can also damage the plant. Its vapors can damage the plant. So do it when it's cool, and whether you're spraying or using the brush technique, you must not let the chemical come in contact with the plant. Please follow all the instructions on the labels and wear all the appropriate PPE equipment. Thank you very much for watching this video.